Well, my name is Walter McNeil. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Challengers Independent Living Incorporated. The idea behind Challengers was to provide a nonprofit organization for teenagers who are exiting out of the foster care system. Well, I created Challengers based off a paper that I wrote when I was in graduate school. In the United States, there's only 2 programs back in 1996 that actually provided services to teenagers who are over the age of 18 years old. And so Challengers Independent Living was based off of that lack of information. I kind of integrated those kind of things, and I made a program for myself that I wrote for my paper. And after I finished writing that paper, the teacher afterwards said to me, he said, "You need to do this for real." The kids we serve are children between the age of 15 to 21. A lot of times, we'll get phone calls from the general community to say that, when my kid is 17 years old, he's not listening to me, and I want to send him to the foster. I want to send him to your program because they heard about our program through some media or something like that. But that's not the population we serve. We service kids who are only wards of the state. We don't serve kids who are juvenile delinquents. That's not the purpose of our program. Our program serves kids who are in the foster care system for not a fault of their own.
I was in the foster care system at 15 years old. It was deemed that my mother was not able to care for me and provide for me the way she should have or could have provided for me. I grew up very fast, and I had a lot of responsibilities at a young age. So that, with the little nurturance and guidance that I didn't receive at home, brought me to a really hard place in my life. So I didn't have the easiest time in high school, and I met the wrong people, and I got into the wrong things, and I ended up in a really bad place. And no matter everything that I went through, I honestly say that being in the foster care system saved my life.
It's tough. I think what the kids need to succeed, they need a support system and a support network. The key, I think, to success in our society is getting education. But a lot of times, education is a hard thing for our kids because of their emotional instability. And that's the kind of thing that kind of drives us to make sure that our kids, get the trauma-based needs taken care of. Because a lot of times kids who exit the foster care system, no one really addressed their trauma. They just address the needs or the behaviors that is in front of them. But when you think about independent living, which is a whole different population, when you think about independent living, you definitely have to look at, what kind of things do I need for my kids to be able to go out into the community and interact, appropriately and be able to deal with the ups and downs of, just day-to-day life.
Well, what you want to do, again, you want to be able to give your 30-second commercial about yourself. Sell yourself in that 30 seconds. So in that 30 seconds, the potential employer will be able to tell, 1, if you're in school, if you're not in school. 2, what type of career you're looking for. 3, if you're looking to just pursue just a job, or you're looking for a job that could possibly turn into a career. After you go that route, then you tell them more about yourself. That you're willing to do the work, that you're a hard worker, that you're out here looking for jobs. You did the research on the company on the internet. You found out exactly what they're doing, what their policies are, what their procedures are. That's a whole bunch of stuff, right? But you can remember that. Am I right?
How do you know?
Because you're smart. That's how I know. You can remember that. And
How do you know I'm smart? That's your opinion. You don't know nothing about me to say my intelligence level.
Well, you're smart.
You think I'm smart.
You receive information well. Making money and working and succeeding, that's very important to you because you have 2 jobs now. Am I right? And you're going to school. Am I right? So to pursue a career or job while in school, work, and doing both well, all 3 well, that means that you retain information pretty well. So when you say I don't know much about you, I know that about you. I know that about you.
I was told up until I was in the foster care system that I really wasn't going to amount to anything, that I was never good enough. And so when you hear that for a majority of your life, you start believing it.
I have 2 great girls. I think from my experience with Challengers that, I don't really take the things that they do for granted or some of their successes because I can see how, there are people who really have it bad. I try to be, you know, present in their life because our kids don't have anyone to be, you know, present in their lives. By going to any event they may have. If they have an art show at school, I'll go. You know, if they have a track meet, then I'll go, you know. But, you know, our kids need us. And so, you know, by seeing our, you know, the kids at Challengers and, you know, and how parents just, you know, neglected, you know, that privilege of being a parent, you know, it makes me a little bit more, I guess, I'm a little more focused on what I need to do as a father, you know, as a parent.
Challengers has benefited me in life in a few multiple ways. They taught me life skills that I've needed to obtain. I've even had received participation for the life skills groups that I've completed. It was about 15 to 20 of them, so we had to meet on a regular basis. And they've showed me what it really would be like in the real world.
I think if, you know, if you aren't genuinely concerned about our kids, I think our kids see it. Always say children in foster care have radar. Our kids live in apartment-style living, and so a lot of the kids have to interact amongst, you know, their participants in the community, like the residents in the community. So, you know, we want our kids to have this sense of normalcy, you know, as much as possible. So in order for somebody to be normal, you have to have normal people working with them.
Hello, I'm Jamie Smith. Welcome to the apartment I stay in at Challengers. Come on in. So here we have the fridge. It's already here. It comes furnished. You know, the furniture's always here. They give us money for food. As you can see, I like to eat a lot. Dishes. They give us money to buy dishes, or you just buy them on your own. This is what I wanted, and I personally got what I wanted. I grilled out here a few times, but I wasn't supposed to. I just found that out today. If you keep coming on back, I welcome you to my master suite bedroom. My bed. I decorated it somewhat, you know. I got this from Challengers. This is the certificate that solidifies that I completed the life skills, that I've mastered the life skills. Got this on the 11th day of June of this year. This is my bulletin board. I like to put motivational quotes on here, like, remember the struggle makes the journey worth it. Some other things like, excuse me, classes that I need to transfer with a cop and money stuff. A TV, nice 39-inch. Sitting here and play the game. As you can see, I already got hooked up. I took this on my graduation day.
So anyway, so I met Jamie. So when there's a kid that, you know, potentially need a placement, like they'll have, you go down to DSS and you go talk to the kid. And it's such a sad thing, you know, because it's almost like, you know, the kid is interviewing. And so you go down to DSS and you talk to him and you tell him what your program can do and what your program is about. And so, you know, so we met Jamie. Me and Mr. Mark met Jamie, and Jamie was at this other program. You know, he seemed like he was content there. But, you know, but he said, I want to finish a semester of college before I go to independent living. And, you know, I was thinking, you know, I was like, well, we probably never see this kid again. And sure enough, after he finished that semester of college, he called and said, you know, I'm finished my semester of college. I want to come up. And so we was able to still get him. But, you know, he's one of those, like, kids who know what it is he needs in order to become, you know, self-sufficient. Because a lot of times our kids can't advocate for themselves. You know, DSS workers just tell them where they going, who they going to live with, and all that stuff. That's the sad part about DSS. So I kind of like, you know, more of that empowerment model where kids, you're not talking about kids, you're talking about 18, 19 years old. And when you think about yourself, you know, at 16, you know, going to 17, you know, you about to drive, you know, you thinking about what college you want to go to. You know, you make your own decisions for yourself, but, you know, our kids a lot of times don't have that option. Well, Challenge has expanded quite a bit since 1998. Like I said, we started out with 7 kids in our independent living program. We went up to about 15 a few years after that. Then we up to 25. And then in 2005, 2004, we opened up our transitional program, which is Birthplace. Birthplace is a transitional program for boys between the ages of 15 to 19. And we provide the exact same services as we do at Challengers Independent Living, but the difference is it's 24 hours. So the kids get an opportunity, you know, to practice independent life skills, but you have more adult supervision. Because I can't imagine, you know, saying a 15-year-old, he can stay out till 11 o'clock at night. And they can earn privileges that can allow them to stay out, you know, later times at night. But for the most part, you know, the curfews are in place. And then later on, we opened up our girls group home, which is a transitional program for girls. And that houses 7 girls, same exact services. And then in 2011, we opened up Challengers East, which provided services in an independent living program for additional 20 kids. So our beds went from 7 in 1998 to in 2013, we now have 62. So we expanded a little bit.
Okay, great. How much?
Yeah, 15 years flew by. Well, October will make 15 years.
Okay.
We started October 31st, 1998. It's amazing, right? On Halloween. It was funny.
How is my life post-Challengers? I am proud to say that I am a college graduate. I graduated from Mr. Walt's alma mater, Coppin State University. I graduated summa cum laude, top of my class, with a Bachelor's of Social Work. I am a student at University of Maryland School of Social Work, receiving my master's, and this time next year, which is June, I will receive my master's working on my clinical licensure. I just accepted a position as deputy manager, case manager at a nonprofit organization. So I am the assistant director, essentially, for an organization I've worked with for years. It's called Whalers Creation. It's a foster youth adopted arts media training program to help other foster youth gain employment in whatever field they would like to choose. The impact that Mr. Walt and Challengers has in my life is, you cannot measure it. I am who I am today because of Mr. Walt and Challengers. And when I say I want to thank him and Challengers from the bottom of my heart, I am sincerely saying that I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because I never felt like I could do anything. And for me to be where I am today and to achieve my goals and have Mr. Walt and Mr. Kiba, Mr. Averon, everyone back me up and support me and share those accomplishments with me, it's just something that I just can't even express. I thank Mr. Walt for all the opportunities he's given me, everyone at Challengers. I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be who I am today without the guidance and support.